Unfortunately, I come back. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How are we doing? If you guys have not liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Helps out tremendously. Christmas time is here. Dereck Lively's out for the year. We don't have a reason to be jolly, but good golly, Christmas here. You guys like that song? If it sounded offbeat, I can't hear it. Really. Come on, sing along with me, guys. Christmas time is here. Dereck Lively is out for the year. There's no reason for us to be jolly, but good golly, Christmas is here. Bryce, 5 months. Nico's vision strikes again. All right. Let's get down to business because I actually have stuff to talk about today. And I was going to go live even before the Dereck Lively injury news broke. So I guess let's start there, huh? Because that's what you guys want. Right? You guys don't care about me or my updates or things I have to say to you or things that I have or life events I want to share with you guys or updates or exciting things that relate to me. You guys want me to just sit here and talk about Dereck Lively, huh? And that's okay. Nessa with the 10 months, 2 Christmas miracles in a row. Also 10 months. That's right. So here you go. Here's the big story. Why the fuck am I way over here? I don't know. Maybe it's time to cut the music off, huh? Maybe it's time to cut the music off. Just listen to the doom and gloom DLLS. Let's get slightly upbeat now. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do. It helps me out tremendously. Blah, blah, blah. If you don't say this shit, you guys will never do it. Why? I don't know why that's the case. I have no idea why that's the case. My clips channel is doing fantastic right now. And I think the reasoning, honest to God, I think a big reasoning for that is because I sit there and beg for likes at the beginning of each fucking video. So, yeah, I don't know why. It's just the way that it goes. That Dereck Lively out for the year. So I knew this was coming. Just full disclosure, I knew he was getting foot surgery. I didn't know how public that was, so I didn't say anything. I kind of, if you guys heard me talk about this, you could tell that I was insinuating Lively was going to miss the season. Once guys start looking for second opinions, let me tell you, it's over and done with, right? So out for the year, getting right foot procedure to address lingering discomfort. Man, this is so brutal. This sucks so bad for Dereck Lively. This guy seems like one of the nicest dudes you can find, right? Like, never heard a bad thing about this guy. Cool as can be, nice as can be. Obviously has dealt with like so much in his life. Just want this guy to be able to play some fucking basketball. B-Dot, 36 months. That's 3 years. Everyone spam AH in the chat. My coworker passed. What? As in your coworker passed away? Why would we be spamming AH? Like, ah? All right, everyone spam ah in the chat. Rest in peace, ah. Oh, okay, it's his initials. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, everyone spam AH. Rest in peace, AH. Not ah, like AH is his initials. That's my bad. I didn't understand what you were getting at there. Cray, 35 months of the Slight Delusional Club. London Hoops with the 199. Miles Turner for Gaff and Caleb Martin. Who says no? Jesus Christ. Hopefully the Mavs. Velo in 17 months of the Slight Delusional Club. AH. And guys, AH is the initials. Young Dagger Dave, welcome to Slight Delusional Club. Rest in peace, AH. So Lively now, 7 games played this year. He's played in 98 games of a possible, 242, I believe. 246, something like that. Those are the possible games that he could play in, and he's played in under 40% of basketball games. Obviously, there's some questions that we have to ask ourselves, right? You know what? It just feels like the Christmas music and the fucking hat. I mean, rest in peace. Dereck Lively's out. Like, it just feels like it's not a time for festive joy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Mavericks, let's just call what it is. The Mavericks have some questions that they need to ask themselves in regards to Dereck Lively. And weirdly enough, I think this kind of answered some of them. He's extension eligible this upcoming summer. Heading into last year, at least I guess before you missed most of last year, I would have said, yeah, just throw him wherever the fuck he wants. Bonk, 42 months, 3 years, 36 months. 3 years, man. How about that? That must be when we started memberships, huh? So I would have said before these injuries, you would have given Dereck Lively not whatever he wanted, but you would have paid him a fat fucking bag. And now, I don't know. I think you just let his restricted free agency play out, huh? Like, you just see if he gets back next year. And if he can stay healthy over the course of the year, great. And then we'll get the restricted free agency and go from there. Because you don't do an extension at this point, do you? Unless you can get... Unless Dereck Lively and his agency is like, man, look, 7-2, lingering foot problems, never a good thing ever for a big guy. If we can get some long-term financial security, that might trump a prove-it season, right? I did see they were expecting a full recovery. I mean, when have we heard otherwise? Like, has there ever been a surgery where it's like, and we don't know? Dereck Lively's going in for a foot surgery, and folks, we don't know. We have no clue how it's going to end up. And I feel bad because before the season, I told you guys to go all in on Dereck Lively stock, and now the economy's crashed. And I apologize for that. I rug pulled you all. I'm sorry for that. I would like to formally apologize for rug pulling you all when it comes to Dereck Lively. It just is so unfortunate. This guy is a great basketball player. You know, the Mavs, believe it or not, are pretty much +6 when he plays this year. I mean, this woeful team that has the 7th worst net rating in the NBA is +6 when Dereck Lively plays in the limited time that he has played this year. I did a Bleacher Report video today talking about this. I'll post it on my Twitter. Fuck it. But I'll push back against this all the time. This Dereck Lively is a Luka merchant. It's not based in reality. It's not based in any world we live in. It's based in the deluded brains of Luka stans. Okay, that's where it's based at. Lively's been a very impactful center, really no matter who's on the court. Why? Because he's smart. He's a great screen setter. He's a great finisher. He's a great rebounder. He's great at finishing above the rim. And he's incredible defensively. So this really sucks. This is over their whole careers too, I believe. Or the last 3 years. Maybe we're overreacting. He still has lots of value on the market. I mean, I really doubt it. And then let's say this. Lively's value in a trade. I would have said prior to this, nobody's really untouchable, but realistically, what would a Lively trade? Like, I couldn't even think of a Lively trade that would have made sense that I would have said yes to. So not necessarily untouchable, but one of those things, right? Where it's like, realistically, what are you getting for Dereck Lively that makes it a win for you? Because that's a centerpiece player. What do you use to see those numbers? It's Data Ballers, I think is what it is. Yeah, Data Baller. But there's no E for baller. So it's Data Baller, but without the E. Yeah, how Luke RM77 did it. Can we call you Data Baller? Yeah, that's cool with me. That's cool with me. So yeah, anyways, sucks, dude. Really, really sucks. Him and Cooper, I think, pair together so well. And who knows? I mean, who knows, right? Like maybe he comes back from this, and maybe this is kind of a precautionary thing. Obviously, season-ending foot surgery is not very precautionary, but maybe this is one of those things where it's like, maybe he could have like rehabbed it and come back, but this is maybe hey, there's no point in coming back and rushing this back. Like, there's a surgery out there that could fix this permanently. You're 21 years old. This is a lost season for us. Like, let's get the surgery and let's get you right moving forward. And you can have a bounce back year next year. Stay healthy. We'll manage your minutes maybe, but you can prove how impactful you are and get you a payday. Maybe. And then, of course, you go back to the fact that last year he was cleared to play. Your voice is slightly deeper today. I can just feel your grief. Now there ain't no maybes anymore. We know what D-Live is at this point. It sucks, but he's just way too injury prone. There's some maybes. There's one or two maybes. There's one or two maybes. Yeah, he was cleared to play last year. And they were playing him back. He's like, my foot still kind of hurts. And they're like, oh, wait a second. You have a fracture. So he was running around with a fracture in his fucking ankle. Can't imagine that. We probably rush him back again this year. I don't know, man. It could just be that he's injury prone. I was a little bit worried. I don't know if you guys remember the surgery in the offseason. I was a little bit worried about that. So anyways, how do you feel about Nick saying the Mavs ruined his career with the false assessments of him? I mean, I'm sure it didn't help. I'm sure it didn't help. Have you announced the big update? No, but we will. Let's do it right now. So I do have a couple actual. Sometimes I say big update and I don't actually have updates for you guys, but I do have actually a couple big updates for you. Let's go here. And we'll talk more about this in a second. And why the fuck does this look so terrible, huh? And what is that thing? All right, so a couple big updates here for you guys. One, if you guys missed the news, Playback is gone. That's right. Playback is shutting down. Well, that's the wrong. I did not mean that one. I did not mean that one. Playback is shutting down on Friday permanently. So things are going to be. I was a YouTube grunt, but recipes Playback. No, I don't think someone sued them. I think it just was too expensive. You know, think about all of their upkeep and stuff like that. So tonight we will be live. I'll be going live tonight for the Cup games because the Cup just means more. I'll be live for the Cup games tonight. Those start at what? 7:30? 6 or 7? Which one, guys? Hey guys, I don't know if you've heard the 6-7 joke, but it's this joke going around and it's great. 6:30? Oh, that's kind of early. Fuck. Am I gonna be home by then? Well, we'll be live. We'll be live. And it'll be the end of our Playback. It'll be our last Playback stream. We'll be live on Playback and over here, of course. And then on Friday, we will be back to streaming exclusively on YouTube, which I haven't done in years. It's genuinely been multiple years now since we've done a watch party on YouTube. So I don't know. I honestly think I kind of forgot how to do it. I honestly think I forgot how to do it. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm going to have to sit down and sort of map out how to make it happen, because I kept getting copyright striked for, I think, showing the scoreboard. But part of the thing that made that we like doing on Playback is that we got to bounce around from game to game to game. You know, that was what made it fun. I don't really know how to do it on here. I don't really know how to do it on here. I guess we'll just do it and we'll figure it out as we go, huh? I guess we'll just do it and we'll figure it out as we go. I can create you an app. So what is there a scoreboard app out there that I can pause perfectly? Like that I can sync up with mine? I'm not doing a fucking fake scoreboard, bro. Rest in peace, Gooning Poetic, Luca Donving 666. Yeah, rest in peace to him. I've always said that. Rest in peace to him. I mean, NBA is a box score and play-by-play thing, but it's not real time. That's kind of my thing. Is I want to sync it up perfectly to where I'm watching it so that it's easier for you guys. And it just feels so janky making my own scoreboard. I don't want to have to fucking operate the scoreboard. Like, I mean, this is what I say. This is the hardest job in the world, because it's like, so what? Now I have to put on a show for hundreds, thousands of people. And then I also have to operate a fucking scoreboard. Like I am a high schooler getting a job on the weekends, in the mornings, operating a volleyball scoreboard. Like, what is that? So we'll have to figure it out. And maybe I test my luck with showing the scoreboard like we used to. Maybe I'll test my luck. I never seen the stream hit 1,000 viewers. Oh, we've had thousands of people in here many a times. Many a times. It's been a while, though. It feels like the live streams, and I think it's because I've been doing them in multiple different places. You know, like Playback added with the YouTube viewerships. We're usually around like 400 or 500 people. But it does feel like it's gone down quite a bit. This kind of fucked over a bunch of NBA streamers on Playback. Oh, yeah, it definitely has. I mean, it probably will be okay with us. It probably will be okay with us because, like, we started on YouTube. So it was just going back to it. Start a Playback alternative. And we've been talking about it. Australia bans social media for kids. Wait, really? Hell yeah. I love that for them. We should do that. It would suck to lose some valued community members, but like, you know. Can you see how much Playback page you stream over there? I mean, so I'll just be upfront and honest. It's the shutting down, whatever. Early on, it was pretty worth my while to stream over there. I'll just say that. Early on, it was pretty worth my while. Now, over time, I mean, it was still fun to do. I loved just being able to watch the games with you guys. Like, it was super easy for me, super easy for everyone else. Their chat feature is way better than YouTube's. Way better. You could send links, you could react to chats, reply to chats. Like, it's just way better chat system. But over the last, like, probably like year even, it hadn't, there was no difference between streaming over there and streaming on YouTube. And like financially for me, just peeking behind the curtain. There was no like added incentive or anything like that. Everything you're saying sounds like you need to do Twitch. Dude, every time I do that and we stream on Twitch, there's like 3 people in there. And that's not even an exaggeration. Like, that's not even me underselling it as a joke. There's like 3 people in there. Every single time. Do Twitch, 15 people go. It's like, all right. All right. So when you hit your first million, you still gonna remember the chat? I already hit my first, but after like my 20th, maybe not. Maybe I'll forget. Maybe I'll forget chat. I have a question. Doesn't trading all the vets, AD and Clay? I'll get back to that in a second. Is it possible to use the scoreboard from ESPN? It's just so far ahead of the streams is my problem. We've always had a problem syncing up the game so that if I'm watching a game and I want you guys to watch along with me, finding a way to sync those. Maybe you should switch to travel vlogging. Maybe, man. Maybe that's the move. I don't know. No, I've got, okay, so actually I had another big announcement on top of that. So YouTube streams are coming back, and part of me actually is kind of excited about that because I do think our YouTube watch-alongs are elite. I think there's nobody who even comes close, just being honest with you, in terms of the YouTube streams, right? Now, we sort of like... the production and some of the bits and stuff that we did kind of went away when we switched to playback just because it was a lot more difficult to do them over there. But we're coming back, and I want to bring back all of the fun shit. I want to bring back some of the, some of the danger zone maybe. I want to bring back some of that shit because that was really fun. We're gonna make these great. We'll just figure it out. I mean, fuck it. The drunk tank. I mean, yeah, we're all coming back. Dagger Day with the 5. Just wear big sunglasses so we can see the game in the reflection. That's a classic one. Shotgun streams are not coming back. But everything else, though, I want to give the city life back. Shotgun streams will not be making their return. Not on my watch. We don't need the shotgun streams. No, we don't. All right, but also another nostalgia bait for the side of the universe. It's not really nostalgia bait. It's more stuff that we just had to get rid of whenever we moved to playback, just because we couldn't do them anymore. Strike, welcome to the side of the delusional club. But now we will kind of be able to do it again. It's like a trade-off, basically. And then also my other announcement. So Slightly Early had, as you guys can tell, has been on hiatus for a bit. Part of the reasoning for that is just kind of working through some things currently for the future of Slightly Early. And it's not back daily yet, but the start of the new year, once trade season really ramps up, Slightly Early will be back every single day. It might have a new name. I'm not sure. Attached to it. And we'll be starting it back up this week. So today, obviously, is like, I guess, a slightly early. I was going to come live and just do an announcement anyways, but then fucking Dereck Lively got hurt for the year, which is just great and fantastic. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing... So did you ever consider doing a watch along with former Mav Ryan Brokoff? Yeah, sure. Soft launch for the Yahoo venture? No Yahoo. So anyways, I'm pretty pumped about it. And I think next week, just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. The day of reckoning is coming. The day of reckoning is coming. But we'll be live. I'm guessing, I don't know. I can't promise tomorrow. Fuck it. You guys know how I am with promises. We'll do it slightly early tomorrow. It's like, we'll just stream. Whatever. Who cares? I don't know. Like, we'll just stream tomorrow. I mean, what the fuck? Huh? So anyway, that's what's happening. If you're wondering where Slightly Early's been, it hasn't been because I haven't wanted to do it. It's just I'm working some stuff out. We're getting close. All right, let's talk about sports. Well, actually, what do you guys want to talk about next? Geopolitics or sports? It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys, really. Geopolitics? Yeah, okay. That's fair. Let's see what's trending number one in politics, and then we'll go from there. Helium. Helium's number one trending right now in politics. They're killing it. Helium. Yeah, I've always said this about helium, and especially the helium house, that if you can get that sort of self-sustaining economy that helium brings to the table, and again, Helium House, the world's largest decentralized wireless network built and owned by the people, powered by HNT, the currency of connectivity. Now, you read that and you know exactly what they're talking about. It's not one of these products where you read it, what it is that they do, and you think to yourself, what in the fuck are they even selling? What product do they have that provides any value at all? You just know what they, and that's Helium, with the world's largest decentralized wireless network built and owned by the people, powered by HNT. Right? And that's what I've always said. Breaking Helium is going global. Want to bring helium to your country and help build the future of mobile? The international waitlist is now live. Your country could be next. Appreciate your level-headedness. Mavs fans are crashing out about tanking to avoid Nico vindication. They traded Luka to avoid paying him $350 million, ended up with young replacements for Luka and Kai. Mavs fans are crashing out about everything. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so Connor, 24 months. Rest in peace, Playback. You will be missed. Happy 2 years. We really will miss it. Let's talk about some of the cup games last night, huh? First and foremost, I want to say this. If you guys watched my clips video yesterday, I am going to make a clips video here in a bit, kind of going more in depth on these games. But if you watched my clips video yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. No, was it yesterday? Who the fuck remembers? It was 2 days ago. Or was it 3? No, it was 2 days ago. I sort of talked about how I'm done with the play-in tournament. I am just completely done with it as a concept. It just doesn't make sense in its current form. I don't want 5-game under 500 10th seeds to play in postseason games, because that is what they are. At the end of the day, they are postseason games. I don't want that to be a thing that exists in my NBA any longer. But a big reason for that is, like, dude, I think the NBA Cup is actually legitimately good. And I think they could build upon it and maybe replace some of what you get in the play-in tournament with the play-in, with the in-season cup. By saying, like, hey, if you make the playoffs, right? If you make the quarterfinals of the cup, you automatically get a top 8 seed. And maybe that might not seem like a lot to you, but when you have teams that are like the Raptors and the Heat, I mean, things could go south for those teams, right? Things could go south. I think that could be an interesting thing. People say that the champion should get an automatic playoff berth. That's something I've heard. Why stop there? Honestly, if we want to really, like, put some importance in this, you could put some importance in it and get rid of the play-in tournament. The play-in tournament fucking sucks. It's terrible. I hate it. Okay. There's no way you can convince me that those 4 games or whatever it is like making you so much money that you need to keep it. Now that the play-in got us Cooper Flag, we don't need anymore. Exactly that. 100% that. Now we're ready to move on. But the thing I like about it is it actually makes you try in the regular season to get 6 seed, not just coast to an 8 seed. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. But then my counter to that would be, like, I'm not convinced that it's made teams play harder. You know, I'm just not convinced. Hey, it's Liam with the 1999. I really appreciate the comedy and commentary you bring Mavs fans in the community. As a Pels fan, I'm happy that even during rough seasons and management problems, there's a light at the end, one org spiraling to another. Thank you for those kind words. Hey, we're in this together, brother. We're in this together. Now, we might be in a little bit of a better spot than the Pelicans, but or at least I hope so, but we are in this together. Actually, we might not be in a better spot. I don't know. You're not convinced teams are playing harder to avoid the play-in? Maybe we don't have to convince you. I don't get that feeling. I really don't. I think we've seen older teams, like in the past. I think the Warriors have done this. I think the Lakers have done this. I think we've seen teams not care about being in the play-in. This is just kind of my personal opinion. I think we've seen teams not really, you know, whatever. If we're in the play-in tournament, we're in the play-in tournament. It is what it is. So, and then my thing is, teams will always fight to get a higher seed, and then you get towards the end of the season, and then you do get some purposeful tanks to avoid certain matchups. Last year, the Warriors desperately wanted to avoid the play-in and went 23-5. What was a few years ago that they didn't care about being in it? The Lakers never gave a fuck about being in the play-in tournament. I'm all for changing the structure of the playoffs, by the way. I'm all for it. Slightly. Please don't call me slightly. Guys, if you're wondering what slightly means, it's apparently this new trend that kids are doing where they put CH in front of words and it means chunky. So Lighters King is calling me chunky slightly. So please, guys, don't entertain that. Don't laugh at it. Just ignore it. All right, please, moving forward. Chiley, do you have any DL2 stock I can buy from you? I'm still buying DL2 stock. Yeah, I'll let you know. We can work something out. We can do an exchange. Devil's advocate, in theory, if you just try hard 4 group stage games and 3 cup playoff games, you only need 7 wins to make the playoffs. What do you do in the team's dual tank and try for the cup? Well, if one of your big goals is to make the cup matter more, then you just succeeded dramatically. But I am open to changing the playoff rules in the NBA. Whether that's just doing a blanket 1 through 16 ranking, whether that's and this one is really funny. I do actually think I love the idea of teams picking their opponents. Picking their opponents is fantastic. SL slightly, and guys, SL stands for slim. See, that's what I can get behind. Thomas. Blanket 1 through 16 is much better. Most of the East should not be in the playoffs. And I get they don't do that really for travel. I'm wondering in year of our Lord 2025, 2026, how much that matters when these guys are on private jets and get fucking entire bedrooms. And guys, I don't know. I've never been on a private jet, believe it or not. I don't know what goes on in there. But they're on private planes. Like, I don't feel that bad for them. I'm sorry. Like, I hate hearing the I really do. The only, and I'm sorry, I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't want to sound like one of these guys, but sometimes I hear some of the complaints and stuff, and then I think to myself, this guy makes $35 million a year. And I'm like, you know what? Let's calm down. All right? Let's calm down, dude. I just had to sit in the middle fucking seat on a 9-hour flight to London a couple weeks ago, and was like this for 9 hours. You understand? I'm 6'2", 6'3", broad shoulders, strong as a fucking ox. I'm sitting there built like a brick shit house. I'm sitting there like this, and because of my ankle/calf problems, I have to stand up and walk around the plane every now and then. And you expect me to care? You expect me to care that you're on a private jet for 4 hours? And you don't have to go through custom. You don't have to go through the airport check-in. You check your bag. What's that, Delta? You fucking put my bag on the wrong flight? How the fuck did you manage to do that? So now I got to sit at the airport for another 3 hours and wait for that to get here? Sorry, I don't care really. So I don't feel much in the way of sympathy. And I'm just being honest. I'm gonna be one of those guys. The only time I do feel bad is when they have like a back-to-back, and it's like, yeah, they got in at 5 a.m. last time. Like, okay, that kind of sucks. But then they go to a luxury hotel and sleep in a yeah. You get my drift. Always the tallest in the middle seat. Yep. I mean, what am I supposed to do? How about this? I was thinking about this whenever I was at the airport. Why on earth, and this has never made sense to me, I want to get in the brain of the people who are rushing to get into the airplane. Rushing to get into the airplane first. I got to be on priority boarding 1, and I need to get to my seat. It's like, why on earth do you want to be in there? I get like wanting to get up and leave quick, but why on earth are you rushing to get into the airplane? I just, for the bin space, I mean, I guess they're going to find a place for your bag. I don't know how many flights I've ever been on where it's like, there's no place for these overheads. I don't understand it. So here's, if I were in charge of airports, here's how it would go down. In air traffic, here's how it would go down. First and foremost, priority boarding means you get on last. Okay, that should be a perk. I'm the last on the plane. I'm the first off the plane. Why do I want to be the first on the fucking plane? So I just sit there. I want to be the first off. Every time I fly American, they make people check bags at the gate. Yeah, okay. So how about this? Overhead seating things. If you put a jacket in it, and let me speak directly to the camera. If you put a jacket in an overhead seat compartment, you are a lunatic. And you know what? I should open up the door on the plane and throw you out in the middle of the flight. If you put a purse or a backpack up there, you are a lunatic. Put it under your seat. We're all in this together. You understand? Now, if you've got a Vera Bradley bag or you've got a little small suitcase, now, okay, please put it in the overhead bin. If you put your fucking coat in the overhead bin, consider everything you're doing. Consider everything you're doing and consider that it's incorrect and it needs to be fixed permanently. They make you put backpacks up there? Really? Almost every single flight I've been on, they almost explicitly do not want you to put backpacks up there, and they want you to put it under the seat. Like they'll get like mad at you for putting backpacks up there if it's like super packed. Was your private jet in the shop for the trip? I already mentioned this, but I had leased some of them out to local schools. So anyways, where are we going? How on earth? I actually really want to talk about the play-in tournament. I don't know how we got here. Thoughts on Phillip Rivers playing? Is he actually going to play? Is Phillip Rivers actually going to play? Please, that would be so funny. That would be so hilarious. Okay, so anyways, I now remember what I was saying, and I don't know how we ended up getting there. I don't know how we ended up getting to airplanes off of changing the playoff formatting. But yeah, I do think that a blanket 1 through 16 could work. Oh, I know how, because I was saying they don't do it because of travel, but whatever, I don't care that much. I do think it'd be fun. And this is my stance on the cup, is they need to redo the cups so the games can be like outside of the conference. I think it's more fun if you do it that way and sort of break up and mix up the teams that you play, because it would be fun if the cup continues to grow and there starts to be like some serious, I want to win the NBA Cup this year. And these games do really feel more meaningful. And they do kind of feel like that. If it's like the Mavericks play the Raptors in a really meaningful game, that would never happen. With a blanket 1 through 16, you would need to abolish conferences altogether. Yeah, I know. I like the idea of a blanket 1 through 16. It makes some sense to me. But I feel like it's just, there's too much. It's too much. Picking teams, picking your opponent, that's right in the NBA's wheelhouse, is it not? For a league that is, obviously, I think the product on the court's fantastic. But it plays into narratives. It plays into storylines. It kind of likes some petty bullshit. Having teams pick their opponents is right up the NBA's alley. I mean, how funny would that be, dude? How funny would that be? I would love it. I'm all in on that. So anyways, let's talk about these games last night. So I'm going to title, and this is a little behind the scenes, guys. I'm going to title my clips video here in a second. The Linsanity run is over, because it feels like for both of these teams, their little Linsanity fun runs feel completely and totally done. I'm talking about the Heat and the Raptors. Now, part of why I say The Raptors game was completely dead. I mean, they were getting fucked on the moment the game started, really. The Magic Heat game, the energy in the arena, it did really feel like there was something else there. It really did. It felt like there was some real juice. So Miami gets off to this roaring start in the game. This is actually kind of symbolic of their season in a lot of ways. They get off to a roaring start, flying up and down the court, hitting three after three after three after three. Oh my God, this team can't miss. Norman Powell can't miss. What on earth? I was just right in his face and he hit that on me. Orlando can't get a shot to go. They're turning the ball over. And then the pace of this game slowed down to a screeching halt. And Miami couldn't do anything. Miami couldn't do a single thing after that. And really, it kind of started in the middle of the first quarter. So this, to me, is like when people talk about the Heat, they're like, "Yeah, I don't know if what they're doing offensively is something that's really sustainable at any point." But these are the games that they're kind of talking about. Kelly Olynyk guy, Unc, do you miss me? I still love you and Luca and Playback. Thank you. Yes, I love all of those things. All those things I love. Not his fault, but Hero coming back and then them turning to shit is hilarious. Same with Kobe White and the Bulls. Yeah, there is. So the big dialogue right now is Tyler Hero amongst Heat circles and Heat fandoms. That Tyler Hero's return has led to this indirectly. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that their offense was kind of built on tomfoolery. Since Tyler Hero's return, the Miami Heat have had a 131-103 pace with him, number one in the NBA. In games without him, the Heat have had a 104 pace, number one in the NBA. Essentially identical stats. Our bench defense and 30-point shooting falling off as a team issue, not a player. Yeah, okay. So this basically confirms what we were kind of saying. It's not really his fault, although it is kind of hilarious. Like Brian Windhorst says, Tyler Hero returning has messed up Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez's mojo. I disagree with that. What's kind of messed up Jaime Jaquez's mojo is the fact that teams have kind of wisened up to what he's doing, which is I'm only driving, I'm not going to shoot at all. And they're kind of cutting off his driving lanes, and then he gets 2 feet in the paint and then pisses himself. That's what I feel whenever I watch Jaime Jaquez now. How many times is this guy going to pick up his fucking dribble in the paint? How about this stat? They run under 2 pick and rolls a game. Oh, Tyler Hero has run under 2 pick and rolls a game this year. It's the same guy from the Grizzlies, isn't it? What is it? It's an assistant coach that was with the Grizzlies and is now with the Heat. Isn't that what it is? And then they are implementing this offensive system. I don't understand the system in today's NBA. I don't get it. When you have these guards, it makes so much more sense to run picks for these fucking guys. Let John Morant and Tyler Hero get a ball screen. Why are we just Xing out that play? Let Tyler Hero and John Morant play off of a ball screen. They're very good offensive guards. Because it worked for Noah LaRoche in Europe, so it must work in the NBA. I mean, I think there's elements of it that's good. I like the, hey, we can play with pace. We can fly up and down the floor. And when we play with this pace, we can have guys out on the court like Jaime Jaquez. We can have lineups where it's like Bam, Wiggins, Norm Powell, Jaime Jaquez, and then just pick one of like Pele Larson, Drew Smith, whoever. And all of these guys can drive and attack. Davion Mitchell. All of these guys can get the rebound or get an outlet pass, drive, attack over and over and over and over. And that's cool and all. But then you play a team like Orlando, who's very good defensively, who can slow down the pace, who they have good athletes, so they can fly up and down the floor. They've got a lot of size. All right, so now all of a sudden we're slowing the game down. Hey, set a fucking screen. Just set one. How about we set a screen with Bam Adebayo for Tyler Hero? They're one of the best pick and roll duos in the league. Set a fucking screen. Am I crazy? Am I out of my mind? I don't get it.
I believe the disaster scenario has arrived for Tyler Hero. I believe that Tyler Hero is going to end up being traded. I don't believe that the last 5 or 6 games are just the Miami Heat have missed their three-pointers in these 5 or 6 games. The worst possible thing, Zaz, has happened to Tyler Hero, which is in the last 6 games, 5 of them have been lost by the Heat. And worse than that, all of the fun, not the winning, all of the fun of, hey, we score 140 points a game, disappeared as soon as he reappeared. And all you have in front of you now is a fan base that fell in love with Norman Powell is blaming Tyler Hero for coming back and mucking it all up. I really honestly don't know how this could have gone worse optically for what Tyler Hero wants to accomplish in returning.
I mean, he's not necessarily wrong. He's not necessarily wrong. So Playback is dead. When I saw Tony Reale, I figured they must have been growing. Yeah, I mean, do you guys remember? It was a couple streams ago. Somebody very cryptically came in my Playback chat and asked me what I was going to do when Playback closed down. Do you guys remember that? And I was like, that's a weird chat. Definitely didn't expect it to happen so soon at the very least. Yeah, I mean, I really I was buying into this Heat team a little bit, but it just seems that they are who they are. A pretty mid team. Anyways, Orlando, I'm kind of starting to buy into Orlando. That was you? Why did you say that? She play on my back till I stream. I'm kind of in on the Magic. Like, I think they could be number 2 in the East, maybe number 3. I think they're for sure top 3. Assuming like Franz comes back and is healthy. I don't know if what I've seen from Paolo over the last couple games is just kind of this, let me ease my way back into this. Or if it's him listening to the chatter surrounding him and saying, I need to come back and kind of play within the framework of the team a little bit. And if that means taking the third, fourth most shots on the team tonight, then so be it. Yeah, Bane was fantastic last night. But here's the thing, though. If Anthony Black, and I know like his efficiency numbers and stuff last night were bad, but I thought he played a really good game. If Anthony Black has taken kind of this leap forward, okay. I'm pretty interested. Because Suggs has been fantastic this year. Low-key, Wendell's been pretty damn good. And if I'll just trust the talent when it comes to Paolo, and Franz can get healthy, And Bane will be way better, right? Like Bane's had a really slow start shooting to the season. He's clearly going to be way better. Tristan da Silva's been a revelation for them as well. Okay. I like this team a lot. Orlando's an AD away. I mean, they already made their big trade for Bane. So I'm trying to think, like, what realistically would this team need to do? Because Franz back healthy, boom. Anthony Black to the bench. All right, that kind of solves multiple different things for us because now we got our guy off the bench that can kind of run our bench unit. Tyus Jones, goodbye. You fucking reek. Just being honest, right? Just being truthful. They still probably need some shooters. Like out of the Mavs guys, Clay kind of makes more sense for them. Max Christie. Ooh, Max Christie would be perfect on this team. Like what Contavious Caldwell-Pope was supposed to be. Probably come off the bench, but hit threes, defend at a really high level. Even though I think the Magic are better with Franz, Pal doesn't poop the bed in the playoffs. International play like Franz does. Yeah, that's kind of the point that kind of goes under discussed with the Palo thing is it's like, right, okay, the efficiency numbers, peanut butter 5, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, the on-off numbers with him and Franz are bizarre. But yeah, I have 2 eyeballs, and I watched what he did against the Cavs. Pretty much by himself. All right, Unc, I have to go. I need something to let Lucas score on me and give him free throws. Good luck. Have an amazing day. All right, goodbye, Kelly. I'm in it, guy. Clay for Anthony Black with filler. Yeah, they would never do that in a million years. Magic really need to get off Isaac's money. Yeah. Is that contract fully guaranteed? I thought there was a bunch of like weird non-guarantees in there. I kind of agree with you, JK. Like I think the Franz Palo stuff is a little overblown. I don't think it's crazy to maybe think Franz is better than Palo. But this idea that only one can exist, like can't coexist together, that's kind of crazy to me. That's kind of wild to me. I can't get there. And then the Knicks just man alive. This game last night from the Knicks is why I picked them to win the Eastern Conference, and I watched a game like that, and I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, they're kind of just a cut above. Like this their starting group, their starting 5 when the playoffs come around, I don't think a team in the East can really compete with it. And then if I can just get some solid contributions from Jordan Clarkson, which they got last night, if I can get some solid contributions from Mitchell Robinson, which they did not get last night, but just in general. Gershon is a ghost for them. Did Yabusele just trick us all with the Olympics? He just like floats around out there. Has he had one good moment for them yet? Anytime I watch a Knicks game, and I've watched quite a bit, I feel like he's just out there. Like doesn't do anything bad necessarily, but doesn't do anything. It's OG. So yeah, my big concern with them obviously is Brunson, Cat defensively in a 7-game series feels like that's going to bite you in the ass more often than not. But then when Brunson drops 35 and an absurd 35. I mean, last night it was tough bucket after tough bucket. Him and BI were just exchanging tough buckets. BI was great last night. But just tough bucket. But then if OG and Mikal are there to clean everything up behind them, those two are ridiculous. I mean, those two are fucking ridiculous. They both play like, I've seen people say Mikal's like a free safety. And that is like such a perfect way to describe him defensively. He just flies around and just makes plays everywhere. And Josh Hart's been incredible this year. I've been a Josh Hart hater. I really have. I can't hate what he's done so far this season. They've got the best starting five in the East, right? I mean, like pretty comfortably. That's why I'll just believe in them in a playoff setting. Mikal and OG aren't enough to cover for Brunson and Cat. I mean, they were last night, and Cat was pretty good defensively last night. Like, he wasn't destructive. I watch a game like the Celtics game where they lost a week or so ago, and those are the games where it's like, ooh. You play a team that is capable of consistently hunting you and well coached enough to stick to that over the course of a full game. That's where you run into some problems. And also like a player like Jaylen Brown who can just eat you alive when you're dropping over and over and over again. Commentary last night said Hart plays like Iggy. I see it. Defensive athletic dude who balls with IQ. Yeah. I mean, it's funny that they're back to their original starting five from last year. like Mike Brown's going to shake it all up and and then it's like, well, this is just our best bet. The Mitchell Robinson thing, man. What's he 18% from the free throw line this year? Isn't that what it is? %. 20% from the free throw line. How is that how is that actually even possible? I know. And they were, I mean, the Raptors sensed this game getting away from them in the second quarter, and they went immediately to hack a Mitch, and they had to take him out the game because he was not making them. Dog, 20% is nuts. I that's kind of where I'm at. Like, dude, you're in the fucking NBA. What is the excuse? That's one of those where I've never, like, the people like, what, they do the granny style. At that point in time, why are you not doing granny style? Why are you not just sacrificing? Dude, you be on the court much more. If you just did, hey, granny style, I've been working on it. I can get to like 65, 70% from the free throw line. Like, I can get to 70% if I go granny style at the free throw line. You'd be out there for, I don't know, you'd probably get 25 plus minutes a game. Incredible. Ego. Well, what is there to save ego-wise? You're shooting 20% from the free throw line. You've already with 21 months coming from a guy that hasn't done his free throws. That's fair. That's fair. We need to get that done. Maybe over winter break. Yeah, that's what we'll do. For sure. I'll hit up the guy who I know who has a gym, and we'll get it going. So for the Raptors, 15 and 11, they've kind of fallen off. Do we really think that it's RJ Barrett? Like, there's a pretty just, hey, this team's just way better with RJ Barrett. Is that it? Is RJ just like one of the best, one of the most impactful guys in the league? They're just nowhere near as good without him. Their offense is literally like 8 points better when he plays. True, they had no quickly either. Although I will say Jamal Shedd's been perfectly fine this year and like legitimately good, and was legitimately good last night. I actually don't know how much the quickly absence hurts them, if I'm just being truthful. RJ, yeah, maybe I could see, because you're replacing RJ with like Ochai Agbaji. Ingram has been horrible. Well, Ingram was great last night. There is the thing with BI, though, is it's like his style isn't very, it's cool and all. It's tough buckets. You need that when, especially in games where like things slow down and you just need a tough bucket. Yeah, it's DeMar like. It's not necessarily maximizing the rest of your teammates. Although we'll say in games like yesterday where he's hot and teams have to send two to you, like that does help out your team quite a bit. And he did a pretty good job passing out of those. You know, Scotty was terrible last night. He's been good this year, but it's just so hard, man, when you're just not a three-point shooting threat. I want to know what goes on in his brain when some of the shots he takes. Some of the shots Scotty takes is like, yeah, I can live with that shot, Scotty, if like it's kind of a heat check, but like you're 0 for 4 from 3. So with everyone healthy, they swing the ball a lot. Quickly does run point, like 6 assists, but they have depth when everyone is healthy, and the depth is on par with the starters, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, their depth has been the big surprise this year and why they've been maybe better than a lot of people thought. Because Jamal Shedd's been fantastic. He's been really good. Really, really good for them. Mamu's been really good for them. CMB's been good as well defensively. Oh, another thing too. Actually, I know why. Jakob sucks. Jakob reeks. Low-key, kind of one of the worst contracts in the entire NBA. Jakob Poeltl stinks. He got fucked on last night. I mean, he was getting bitched. And CMB comes in and looked way better. Why is he so ass now? He's got a back injury, I think. I think he's playing through like a kind of bad back injury, is what it sounds like. That's why AD works perfectly there if he plays the 5. Honestly, Toronto is a pretty interesting spot for AD. And it all kind of makes sense in my head. They've got some contracts. It allows them to bring in a star. Why does Dick not play? Because the Dick's not working, man. He's probably bad. Let's just call it what it is. What are we in? Are we in year 3 of Grady Dick? He's probably not good. He doesn't do anything. If he's not a knockdown 3-point shooter, which is what he was drafted to be, and there was like there were some thoughts that Grady Dick could be like Con Knipple, where it's like, yeah, he's a 3-point shooter, but like he does so much more, and he's just always in the right spots, and he can attack guys off the dribble. He doesn't really do any of those things, and he's not shooting threes. Not only is he 31% from 3, right, which is awful. It's on very low volume. So, is his peak Duncan Robinson? No, I would say, I don't know what his peak would be. Grady's 22, he's fine. Yeah, but he's also in year 3. Like at some point, I mean, he's looked so bad at times this year, dude. And he was awful last night. Legit awful. He played 8 minutes and had 2 turnovers, but I think he could have had 3. Because I think he got stripped on one that someone saved or some shit. Just looks like a deer in headlights sometimes. AJ Lawson got some run. Grady Dick was so bad last night that AJ Lawson legit got some burn. And this wasn't like end of game garbage time. AJ Lawson was out there. And I guess this speaks to some of their injuries and stuff like Chucky Hepburn. And I'm not going to lie to you. I watched Chucky Hepburn get in the game. And I thought to myself, who the hell is that? It was one of the first times this season where I was like, who the hell is that? Like, genuinely. Jacoby Walter. So I don't understand what. I don't understand the Jacoby Walters thing because he's in the starting lineup. Now he's out the starting lineup for Ochai Agbaji, which I don't really get because Ochai Agbaji is not very good at all. Jacoby Walter's been pretty good, hasn't he? What's up with the 18-minute thing? I would need a Raptors fan to explain it to me, if they could. Raptors need to go all in with Ingram, in my opinion. They got nothing else. I mean, Scotty would be who you go all in around. But the thing with Scotty is he's probably like more of a... And I could see Coop's career going this way, to be completely honest. And it's not... I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but like Scotty's more of probably at his peak, like an elite play finisher who can be a really good defensive player, can bring the ball up and take advantages of certain matchups. And he'll have some games now and then where he's scoring a bunch and, you know, maybe can play make and whatever the case may be. But in terms of just being your number one every night, hey, go out and get us 30 points, like that's not who Scotty's probably ever going to be. So you got to build around that with guys who can feed him. That's disrespectful to Coop. I mean, I think Scotty's a really good player. Why can't I see Scotty as a centerpiece? Am I stupid? Well, because he can't score like that, really. But there's an immense value in just being like an elite play finisher who plays a ton of defense and can play make. Cooper already showing more dog than Scotty. I mean, there's a world where I'm not saying like Cooper will be like a Scotty Barnes. I'm saying there's just like a world where Coop is best equipped as being like a play finisher. AD in Toronto does kind of make a lot of sense. Who's a known player in that archetype? Who is the guy on a team? Well, I mean, Tatum was always kind of a play finisher until pretty recently. So Coop's ceiling is Anthony Davis. I mean, look, if Coop ends up being Anthony Davis, that's pretty damn good. I know the public opinion on Anthony Davis is not high right now, but AD getting you one. So I actually have a theory, and I'm gonna lay this out here right now. My theory, one of my ongoing theories is I think AD is one of these players, and we see these guys from time to time. Example, Kyle Kuzma, where it's I think they're standing within the league and their perception around the league is much better and much more positive than it is like in online or on podcasts, whatever the case may be. Why do I feel that way about AD? Well, he got fucking traded for Luka Doncic, so that's just one. But I feel like if the Mavs are like, okay, we're trading AD, send in your offers. We'll let you know at the end of the week. You know, we'll figure out some finalist teams and then we'll talk to you guys. I think you'd be a little bit surprised. That's kind of my theory. I think people around the league probably think differently about him. AD wasn't ring level ever without LeBron. Well, what do you mean ring level? Like they did win a ring. They don't win that ring without AD. Like by himself, yeah, sure. But realistically speaking, there's maybe 5 or 6 guys in the league who could win a ring by themselves. Even Tatum had Jaylen Brown and as his sidekick. You think the Magic would trade Jalen Suggs for Trae Young as part of an AD Atlanta trade? No. The Magic wouldn't even trade Suggs for Trae Young straight up. But if I'm a team like Toronto and I think to myself, I'm just saying what Toronto could be thinking. Scotty Barnes is our number one. Oh, paired together with AD, that team could win. Well, there you go. You have one suitor. If Miami says, you know what? This conference is wide open. We've always kind of looked for a perfect partner with Bam. AD could be that. And it kind of works out perfectly because I guess Bam could technically be the 5, whatever, even though AD in that situation would have the 5 responsibilities. Boom. There's number 2. Now you have 2 suitors. If Chicago says, man, fuck this, we're trash, we need something to be excited about. Bam and AD would be discussing and investigated. Dude, I'm telling you, the Heat. If I'm the Heat, this is a year I think I do something. If Giannis is actually available, obviously I'm making all-in push for that because I think that could happen. If not that, why not AD? Honestly. AD's been good this year when he plays. I don't like that talking about AD like he's a trash can. Fanspo, a potential AD trade to the Heat. See, like doing all of the AD trades is very hard because of his contract, obviously, and it would require so many different, like, if this team swoops in and gets this guy, that it's just like hard to even do. You know? By the way, I wanted to be done by 2:00 and it's 2:20. So let's hurry up and get this over with. So it'd be something like AD to Miami. Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins and Rozier get it pretty damn near close, right? Dallas would need to offload one more thing. All right. Take Caleb back. How close are we with that? $2 million. Who else can you send? Well, obviously, we would need a young guy. All right, perfect. Khalil. Boom. There you go. They have not ruled if Rozier is tradable yet. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. That's kind of crazy. The Heat are not giving Ware for a broken AD. So, again, this is why I'm saying perception around the league and stuff. Dude, Khalil Ware, like, struggles to get minutes sometimes on his own team. Like, I don't think the Heat probably don't think as highly as Ware as some other people do. And he's young, you know what, second year guy, so whatever. Or, okay, get rid of Ware and add Kasparis. And then whatever picks. It's uninspiring, huh? It's uninspiring. And you know what? Actually, I'm not giving in to you guys being bullies. Khalil Ware to the Mavs. Wiggins to the Lakers. Terry Rozier, we have no clue if you can be traded or not, but let's find out. To the Mavericks. AD to Miami. And then the Lakers send whatever fucking dog shit expiring contracts to the Mavs. How much is Wiggins making? 28. Damn. $28. Where's Vincent? So Why does this trade fail? Mavs need to trade one more person. Okay. Caleb Martin. See ya. Hey, we're giving you AD, man. Okay, so Dallas would have to waive 2 guys, but Rozier doesn't actually count. And then what? Lakers give us your 2031 pick. Heat give us a couple picks. And let's call it a day. We'll go 2031, 2030 swap, 2031, 2032 swap. What are we looking at here? Is that too many picks? Again, I think AD probably has more value than you guys do. I mean, who says no? The Heat probably, right? Would the Lakers trade a first for Wiggins? Honestly, I actually think a guy like Wiggins would be perfect on their team. Lakers say hell no. You think? Just a couple expirings and a pick for Wiggins? I mean, Wiggins doesn't have that much value over Rui. That's where I fundamentally disagree. We know who Rui is. We know what Rui's all about. Okay, like, yeah, it's cool every now and then he has a good game. Wiggins gives you like legit defense that you kind of desperately need. I mean, Hachimura shooting 47% from 3. Yeah, let me tell you, that shit's not lasting. Okay. Wiggins has learned how to be a winner. But like the Lakers need the defense that Wiggins provides more than whatever Rui does. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. The funniest part is Rozier. That's so funny they don't know. I think Wiggins is still a valuable player. Like, he's not an all-star, obviously, but I think if the Heat were to dangle Wiggins in a trade right now, there'd be teams that would be very interested. There's a reason they traded Butler for him. I mean, yeah, Jimmy Butler is a better player than Wiggins. I don't know. I mean, this stuff will sort of like sort itself out by the time we get to February, but I don't know, like, realistically what wings are out there that could like really help the Lakers. The Herb Jones one does make some sense to me. And I think with Herb's like injuries recently, like his value's probably gotten to a point where I definitely think the Lakers could get him and there not be like a massive bidding war for him, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to look around some of these other teams and think of wings that some of these teams have that they could trade. Herb is up there. I mean, if Trey Murphy were available, I don't know if the Lakers have. Don't know if the Lakers have enough. Like, if PJ were available. If PJ were available and the Mavs were fire selling, I think he'd be one of the most sought after guys in the entire trade market. And I think you could actually have a sweepstakes. Because I watch pretty much every team in the league and I'm like, God damn, if they had PJ. You know, if the Lakers had PJ, like, yeah, PJ would be incredible on that Lakers team. It's like exactly what they need. But then you look around the league, it's like, well, every team could use PJ. PJ on the Pistons? I mean, that's like a match made in heaven. PJ on the Pistons would be like Aaron Gordon. I would just Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. It'd be so perfect. PJ on the Spurs. PJ is worth what the Pelicans want trade to be worth? No. As much as I love PJ, and PJ I think would have some serious value. Trey Murphy, for as much as I kind of laugh at what some of the perceived value of him is, I do think he'd be pretty valuable. Now, he's not like what we see on Twitter sometimes where it's like, should the Pacers trade the number 2 overall pick? It's like, what? When I say Aaron Gordon, I'm not saying that PJ is better than Aaron Gordon. I'm saying he could be the Pistons' Aaron Gordon. Do you think the Lakers would trade Austin if they get Gafford, PJ, and picks? No. I mean, what happens when LeBron retires? Then what? Who's your number 2? I mean, there's a couple teams that I think I still think Trey Murphy would be so good on the Thunder, but it is, why would they do it? But if the Thunder wanted to, they could. I keep seeing the Warriors. What's their poop platter they could trade? I mean, the thing with Kuminga is like he was just a restricted free agent and nobody wanted him. Like he was just a fucking restricted free agent. It's easy to get a number 2 and you have a number 1. It's harder than you think. But if you're the Lakers, it's actually not hard at all. You just wake up every morning and these opportunities just present themselves to you. Look how long it took the Mavs getting Luka number 2. Well, how serious is the Pistons' pursuit of AD? Next to not serious at all. Any Pistons person I follow is like, the Pistons are not going to do anything, let alone an AD trade or anything like big. What about Derrick Jones Jr. to the Lakers? What about... I could see Miles Bridges being pretty good on the Lakers. Honestly, I could. Haywood Highsmith? Yeah, I mean, okay. What about Kuzma? What about Coops number 2 is going to be Max Christie or Ryan Newford? The thing is how many like actual selling teams do we have? 1 at this point, and 2, how many of them actually have things that will be of value? Like the Nets. I mean, let's see. MPJ, like sure, I bet teams would call about MPJ at this point. That's just, he's making so much money that's hard. I don't know about 3 firsts. Nick Claxton? All right, yeah. There's definitely some teams out there. Terrence Mann, nobody wants that contract. Cam Thomas, I guess. Oh, fuck. I forgot Haywood. Honest to God, I forgot Haywood Highsmith was on the Nets. Completely forgot about that. Drake Powell. Should the Mavs trade for Drake Powell to continue the Dwight Powell dynasty? What would your thoughts be if the Mavericks interim GM squad entertained flag for Giannis? So my kind of stance on the interim GM squad is I'm starting to get a sinking feeling that it actually might be Kid. Starting to get a sinking feeling. Just from sort of reading the tea leaves, some whispers here and there. That kid after this year will head into the front office, and the Mavs will either hire Vogel or go back and get Sweeney, whatever the case may be. Kevin O'Connor wanted you to believe it. Well, I had heard it tossed around before then, but always just kind of like an idea. Like, is there any truth to some of these rumblings about Seager? Paul at the thought of GM Kid is quite nauseating. No, I agree. I'm very nauseous. Like, is there any proof or any truth to that? It's just big market teams trying to prime away. Bro, the Rangers are a big market team. Why is this team slashing payroll to the level in which they're doing it? So baseball is just kind of a joke to me sometimes. Like the Dodgers can just go out and get anybody they want. And people don't understand this whenever you make this point because they're like, well, everyone can do it. No, they can't. Because the thing is, the Dodgers can just spend and spend and spend and spend. And it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't, there's no repercussions for them. There's no repercussions for them because their big contracts don't hinder them. Like they can go and pay a bunch of money to somebody and it come back and bite them in the ass. But they don't care because they'll just go out and spend money on the next guy. Where other teams are like, oh, fuck, the guy we just gave $25 million to is not good. And now our whole team is fucked. Because the Rangers are not a big market team. At least they aren't to themselves. Yeah, I mean. How do you own a sports team if you can't spend money, you broke bitch? That's how I feel. Like, sell the fucking team. There's a bunch of billionaires who just want to swing their dick around and just spend a bunch of money on a sports team and be good. Would you trade AD for Zubats? Why would I do that? What would be the benefit of that? So I trade for a worse player. And San Diego is one of the smallest markets in the country. Yeah, there you go. That's because baseball is a fading sport with marketability issues outside of the glamour franchises. Who's going to and watching Rangers games anyway? How was their attendance numbers last year? Baseball's actually kind of having a bit of a resurgence. They gave so much money to Tanner Scott, who was horrible. Then just got the best at the same position, Edwin Diaz. Yeah. And then what? Let me guess. Tanner Scott's going to be great next year. Right. So now you have Tanner Scott and you have Edwin Diaz. What's up with Pete Alonso to the Orioles, huh? That's kind of weird. The Mavs are trading 2 firsts for MPJ. That would be sickening. I mean, the NBA has like some cheap owners, don't get me wrong, who avoid the luxury tax and stuff. But I mean, at least everyone kind of spends. Everyone kind of spends close to the same. Like, obviously, you have your big spenders. And I think really where you see that discrepancy is like in the weight rooms, in the facilities. Like, that's where you see it in the NBA. Yeah, the baseball not having a salary floor is disgusting. Also, it's like the Bengals. Yeah, well, the Bengals can't afford. It's like they have Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. It's like, well, they can't afford to keep their best defensive linemen because they just don't pay anybody. They don't have the money. They're just a bunch of broke millionaires. And it's like, then sell the fucking team, brokey. Sell the team. Or at least sell whatever percentage of it you need to sell to get some money, stay involved, and then have somebody come in who can swing their dick around and spend some money. Which team is more embarrassing, the Sacramento A's or the Sacramento Kings? The A's are quite embarrassing. Just kind of a shit stain on the sport a little bit. So for that, I'd actually say them. No, I think that the Bengals owners are actually millionaires. They're like one of the. I saw a thing. They're like one of the poorest. I say poor, but they're one of the least wealthy owners. Would I rather buy the Rangers or the Cowboys if I could? There's a lot of pressure with buying the Cowboys, huh? I actually think baseball would be a kind of fun. If you had unlimited funds, as you can see with the Dodgers, like baseball's like a fucking playground. There's no rules. Bengals have their players cross a highway to get to their practice facility. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Can you imagine like running late to work and you got to stop at the intersection? It's like, hey, I'm going to be late. Yeah, T. Higgins won't get across the fucking street. Seeker for Anthony Volpe, that would be just projectile vomit inducing. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A lot. All right, folks, I need to go. Yeah, we'll be live later tonight to watch tonight's Cup action. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. Those are all good sounds that you like to hear. Would you be cool if Elon bought the Rangers if he spent like the Dodgers do? Yeah, why would I care? Aren't the Rangers owners already kind of pieces of shit? Tonight will be the send-off for Playback TV. It'll be our last stream over there, and then Friday will be our first stream back on YouTube. Kind of sad day. All right, folks, thank you all for coming out. All of the OGs, you guys know, love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday and you were in the world, you decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you all later tonight. I'm about to drop a ramble video over on the Clips channel. I love you all. Bye-bye.